When you solder, this is the equipment that you're going to need. You're going to need your two pieces of metal that you're going to solder together. You're going to need a pair of tweezers to take the solder chips or pallions, they're called solder pallions, out of the little solder container. And you're going to need flux. Flux is the most important thing next to cleaning your metal that you're going to need to do when you solder. If your metal is not entirely clean and you do not flux it, then the solder won't actually adhere to the metal and it'll just fall apart on you. To flux it, quite simply put some flux on the brush and put the flux onto the pieces where you want the solder to flow and attach them together. So if I put the flux on this side, this is only where the solder will flow. It will not adhere to the other side. So I'm going to take the other piece that I have and I'm going to paint the flux where I want that to go together, and then I'm going to put the two pieces touching how I want them to go together. It is important that if you have two pieces that they're completely flat against each other. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a little support piece of metal in the way so that this top piece just lays completely flat. Then I'm going to open up my little container and I'm going to get a little pallion or a chip of solder out of here. You don't need a lot of solder. Probably 2 to 3 chips for this size piece will be adequate. I'm going to put the little pieces of solder chips on here and I'm going to put them in various locations. So I'm going to put one here, one there, and I'll put a third one to kind of make a triangle of solder. And that's all you need. Now, so that you guys can see what happens to the solder when you work it, I'm going to put one right next to the edge of where the metal contacts. Now, normally I'm not going to do that, but I want to do that because I want you to see the solder flow when it adheres to the metal and you get it to the proper temperature.